Hello, this is Slow Rider coming at you live from downtown Phoenix, Arizona. It's a cool 105 degrees today. It's been like 115, 116, 118 degrees Fahrenheit, so it's been pretty hot. Been riding the motorcycles, but it's hot. You gotta keep going over like 60 miles an hour. Anyway, so this is the 2023 Ducati Diavel V4. 38,294 mile review. So that's 38,294 miles on this beast. So I just got it back from the Ducati dealership in Scottsdale, Arizona, which is Go Arizona. It's called the dealership, Go Arizona Ducati. It's called Go Arizona because the guy who owns GoDaddy Corporation, that's basically his private dealership. It's very nice, really nice dealership. If you're in Arizona, they have all kinds of bikes, everything. But they also have the premier Ducati mechanic. So let me go over this. So the total price, the estimated price. So just the first thing to know is the valve job on the Diavel V4 is due at 60,000 kilometers. That translates to about 37,500 miles approximately. So it's 37,500 miles to get the valves done. And I did that in a little under 2 years. It's just I'm in the middle of moving from California to Phoenix and flying back and forth, so I haven't been able to ride it much. So that's where there's a bit of a gap. I should have done this review about like 3 months ago, but I haven't been able to ride the bike, but I've been riding it quite a bit lately. It does okay in the heat. It runs pretty hot, but it doesn't overheat. But you got to keep moving. If you stop, it'll overheat. So let's get into it. So out the door, it was $3,000, 3 cents and 74 cents. So part of that, I got 2 new tires. So if you subtract the tires off of it, that's $600. So really it's about, it's about $2,600. So let's go over this. So what they did fix a few other bits and pieces. So it was the full oil change, filter oil, change the spark plugs out, change the coolant, change the brake fluid, hydraulic fluid in the brakes and also on the hydraulic clutch. Let me see, what else? That was $1,000 worth of parts right there, just all the bits and pieces. Each tire, the front tire was $195 for a Pirelli Rosso V4 120/70/17, and the rear one was $285 for a Pirelli Rosso 3 240 45/17 on the rear. And then each tire was removed, installed on the wheel, and balanced and installed for $45 for the rear and for the front. So that's pretty good. Most places charge $100 per tire or wheel, so that's pretty cheap. That's almost what they charge you at some of these brick and mortars to drop the tire and wheel off. So you might as well, if you live in Arizona, I would just have the tire. It's cheaper to have someone else change your tires. So that's a good price. So we can go over I have the sheet here. I don't know if you guys can see it. I'll hold it there. That's the data sheet for the valves. So long story short, there's 16 valves on here since it's a V4, four per cylinder. There's 2 exhaust and 2 intakes. So the intake, it should be adjusted to 0.20 millimeters to 0.25 millimeters. So these are all in millimeters. So when they measured it, I'll just give the exhaust ones were way out of spec. So the maximum it should be is 0.25 millimeters. So it was up to, one was 0.42 millimeters. So it was twice as much as it should be, the gap. So if this is 0.25 millimeters, it was twice as much. So quite a bit. So the other ones were like 0.36, 0.34, 0.36, 0.42. So they were way stretched out of tolerance. So obviously they had to put some more different spacers in there. So so when you need the valve job, you need the valve job because it's getting pretty far out of tolerance. But it was running fine. I mean, and then the intake was a different story. The intake is 0.1 millimeter to 0.15 millimeter. So on the front head, it was 0.18, which is out of spec. 0.14, which is just in spec, 0.16, which is out of specs, and 0.1, which is in spec. So 2 were in and 2 were out. Not as much as the exhausts were, so the intakes weren't as bad. So on the rear head, which is this one here. So that was the front head, the rear head. So on the rear head, the intake, again, it's got to be between 0.1 and 0.15. So it was okay. It was 0.14. And then the other 3 are out, 0.16, 0.16, 0.22, so those are out. So out of all the valves, only 3 of them, and it was the three of the intake valves were still within spec. And then the exhaust valves, again, were all out of spec. So remember, the exhaust valves got to be between 0.2 millimeters and 0.25. So we got 0.3, 0.26, 0.26, 0.32. So on this head, all of the exhaust valves were basically stretched. They're opening too high, basically. So basically for this valve, after 3,700 miles, or in this case about 38,000 when I finally got around to it, all the exhaust valves were out of spec, and let me see. So that means, and 5 of the intake valves. So what they did, unfortunately, they had to order from Italy. Took a week and a half to get the shims because they had the shim pack, but these were so big they had to get some bigger shims. So basically, what they had to do, if you know how this works, so if you go back to the front head, you got to be between 0.2 millimeters and 0.25 millimeters. So they were at 0.36. There was a 1.9 millimeter shim in there. So they had to increase that by 0.15. So they put a 2.05 shim in. And so thus you're back into spec. You're between 0.2 and 0.25. So I'm not going to read through all these numbers. If somebody wants me to post them, there they are, or I can make a spreadsheet. So anyways, it's back. It runs great. And actually, before the valve, I didn't notice any performance, so I think it was running fine. So, so now I got almost another 40,000 miles. So what else happened? There were some warranty repairs. Got the clutch, the master clutch cylinder rebuilt because the clutch was not disengaging. So as you might know, if you follow my channel, I've already had under warranty the slave clutch. Replaced for Ducati. It was leaking inside the case, and then now they had to rebuild the master cylinder. So that was done under warranty. So the master cylinder was fixed this time, and I think that job was about $600, and then they bled it, of course. So the clutch, man, it's like brand new now. So I mean, basically, you'll start feeling the clutch will not disengage, and it'll start pulling, and then it's hard to start, and you can't shift the gears because it just doesn't disengage. Well, you'll know. So what else happened? Oh yeah, the shifter. They had to put a new shifter on here under warranty because the shift lever was bent. It wasn't bent. It was just wore out. Gear changing arm. Put a new gear change control arm. It was just worn out and sloppy, just because I ride the bike. But there wasn't anything wrong with it. It was just because if you grab your shifter, it's a little loose. It's supposed to be the way it's on there, but I wore it out. A slow rider wore it out just shifting. I shift a lot. So basically they added the shift lever, the brass insert bushing, the mounting bolt, which was bent, washer and O-ring. So they basically just put a whole new shifting mechanism and readjusted the quick shifter, and it's perfect now. Now it rips like new. Oh, here's the master cylinder. Yeah, they just rebuilt it, put new rubber O-rings and stuff in there. So that's pretty much it. I mean, it was a little bit of a, so out the door it was like $3,000. So that's with 2 new tires. So it's about $2,500 US dollars. Well worth it. I was just riding it around today. It rips. It's got the new tires on it. You can see the new rubber front and back. When you get your bike serviced, you might as well, I mean, it still had about like, it was about 70% worn out. I just had them throw new tires on it because now that's going to save me a trip. The only snafu is that they had to order the shims that were a little thicker than they had. The standard shims wouldn't fit, but that's fine. So we love it. So just on my next video, because I have 2 of these Panigale V2s. So we do have a Panigale V1. It was running on 1 cylinder. So we took that into the shop, into the dealership, and basically had a bad O2 sensor on the cylinder 1. So we're waiting. They're shipping the part over from Italy. It's in customs. So that's the only thing. If you need parts for these bikes, you got to wait. So hopefully once they get that oxygen sensor, basically the number 1 cylinder wasn't firing. So we thought it was, something was wrong. So we took it in. So it was Panigale V1. So it was probably the only ever Panigale V1. But it's still kind of ripped, which was funny. The big symptoms, it would stall, but you could still feel there was a problem. All right, so that's the 38,000 mile review. I love it. This, boy, it drives like new. And also, another thing, they checked the brakes, disc front and back. There's no problem. So still on the original brake pads, which is amazing. And the thing stops. I mean, I was just on the freeway, going well over triple digits, and a slow rider did get maybe I'll do another video. I did get a speeding ticket here in Scottsdale. Shout out to the officer. He was pretty cool. I mean, I got busted. Kind of a funny story. I won't tell it now, but I was exceeding the speed limit by quite a bit. So he was cool about it. So I did the traffic school, and I'm back legal again.